Hello and welcome to Hatty Waiver Wire Guru. We're getting ready for week 3 quarterbacks. Here's your pick up and hold. Okay, so I got pick up, hold, spot, starter, and watch. These are pick up, hold. These are guys you're looking to grab. Mark Sanchez is going to be that quarterback. Could have had a better week. He had a touchdown called back from Stokley. Didn't have the best week last week, but he's coming along. This is someone you could have on your bench, maybe even as a third QB. And if you're in that Donovan McNabb, Hasselbeck situation of Mark Sanchez, if your team only allows 2 quarterbacks, I like Sanchez better than I like some of the other quarterbacks that are out there. Sanchez is interesting to me. Okay. Next are your spot starters. Hasselbeck may play next week. That's what they're saying. I bet you they wait another week. Seneca Wallace, when he's played in the past, has done okay. That would be your spot starter for your Hasselbeck guys, is a Seneca Wallace. Now, keep in mind, they're going up against the Bears next week, and that really makes it tough. Okay, but this is a deep league. Let's say you're a deep league, you've got Hasselbeck, and you need someone, go ahead and pick up Seneca. For most leagues, you won't need to pick up Seneca. You can look at someone like a Byron Leftwich. He's my next recommendation for a spot starter. Byron Leftwich he's not doing bad. He's throwing interceptions, but he's also throwing touchdowns. He's throwing enough to make someone, for someone who throws a lot of interceptions, you want them to get a lot of touchdowns, because if they're not going to throw a lot of touchdowns, it's just not worth it. So Byron Leftwich would be a nice spot starter. And if he's available and Seneca's available, pick up Byron Leftwich, just forget about Seneca. Next person is Kevin Kolb. I bet you that Philadelphia waits after the bye week. I don't envision McNabb coming back until week 5. Kevin Kolb was a fine, replacement. They got Mike Vick coming back. They're going to mix it up. I bet you Kevin Kolb goes in next week. So for you McNabb owners, Kolb might not be a bad option. He did have a great game this last week. People I'm watching Matt Leinart. Again, you see Warner, they've got a great lead. They bench Warner, they bring in Leinart. Warner still has some injuries, some pain he's playing through. This is probably his last season, and I don't know if it's going to end prematurely, so I've got my eye on Leinart. The next person I've got my eye on is Derek Anderson. Brady Quinn, the coach isn't happy with his accuracy. The coach wants consistency. Just like I'm telling you, you want consistency, good fantasy teams want consistency. Well, good quarterbacks are consistent, and Brady Quinn is not consistent, and they have Derek Anderson sitting on the bench. And I'm not going to say Derek Anderson is much better, but the coach seems open to making a change there. So you need to keep an eye on it. That's why I'm watching Derek Anderson. Let's move on to running backs. Okay, pick up and hold. Willis McGahee. I don't expect him to be out there on a lot of waiver wires, but he is going to be out there on some of your waiver wires, and Willis McGahee needs to be picked up. He is the new starter. It's just going to happen. I think he's earned that respect to get back to the starter. You saw it this weekend, and that's going to continue as long as he produces. Willis McGahee is also getting the goal line, which is really key. It doesn't matter so much that if Ray Rice gets more carries. What really matters is that Willis McGahee's getting the goal line carries, and he's getting enough carries throughout to make him a nice pickup and hold, especially getting ready for the bye weeks. Next is Lesean McCoy. Now they're saying Brian Westbrook's going to go next week, but you know what? That injury to that ankle was to the surgically repaired ankle for Westbrook. I'm telling you, this is his last season. His ankle isn't going to hold up forever, and Lesean is going to get that opportunity, so I would have him ready on the bench. So if he's on the waiver wires, go ahead and pick him up. Moving on to spot starters, Darren Sproles. LT, he's kind of in the same situation as Brian Westbrook. LT is going to go down, and he already has. And I told you guys that a lot in the preseason. Look out for LT and that injury. It's going to happen. You saw it in my articles. I was telling you about it. Darren Sproles stepped up big time, had a big game, and I expect that to continue. So Darren Sproles, if he's out there, pick him up. Great spot starter. Someone, for your LT owners especially, he's a great spot starter. When LT does come back and he's healthy, they're going to plug him right back in. That's just what they do. Okay, moving on to people I'm watching. Justin Forsett of Seattle. Kind of neat that he is getting a lot more carries than Julius Jones and Edgerrin James. I read a lot in the preseason that Justin Forsett was supposed to do that. And this is someone we need to be watching. I've picked him up already in one of my deep leagues. If you're in a deep league, especially in a dynasty type situation, I would go ahead and put Justin Forsett on my bench, especially if you're weak at running back. Next person to watch is Glenn Coffey. I think Frank Gore will play next week. He'll be fine. Gore plays through a lot of injuries, but someone you need to be ready when Gore does go down, because it's going to happen. He misses games every season. Then Glenn Coffey's going to be put in there. You Gore owners should probably already go ahead and pick up Glenn Coffey and have him ready as a handcuff. Let's move on to wide receivers. Here's your pick up and hold. There's a lot here to work with. I told you this last week. I'm going to tell you again this week because I believe so strongly in it. Steve Smith. He should have been picked up. A lot of you guys did pick him up last week. A lot of you guys started him, and he had a great game. I mean, that was worth watching the video alone last week. It's for Steve Smith. Now, the next person to go ahead and pick up, same feeling as Mario Manningham. You got Hickson hurt, out. You know what? Hickson's going to be dropped down to wide receiver number 3. Manningham has that big play potential, and he put up 150 yards and a touchdown this last week. So Mario Manningham should be picked up. Everyone should go ahead and pick up Manningham. If you got Steve Smith and Manningham on your bench, no big deal. All right, they're going to be fine. Next person, there's an article out on the website. This is someone I've been recommending, Laurent Robinson. I told you about him last week. He got a touchdown. The kid is tall, the kid is fast, and he's their new #1 wide receiver. Avery didn't last long. Avery's just a little too small. Maybe a good deep threat, but Laurent Robinson is also a good end zone type player that Bulger likes to look for. So Laurent Robinson is someone that should be picked up. Next is Mike Sims-Walker. Troy Williamson out for the season. If you've got him, drop him. Grab Mike Sims-Walker. Had a lot of garbage time play last week as Arizona was way ahead, but still got a ton of yards. And I don't expect that to actually be a fluke. I think he's going to still do really well. I've always been high on Mike Sims-Walker, and you guys know that, so he's a pickup. Spot starters, Bobby Wade. Okay. We finally are seeing Matt Castle come in, and he's a new quarterback in a new system, and he's going to find that target. I wish it was Dwayne Bowe, and you know what? I think Dwayne Bowe's going to end up kicking some major butt. But, you know, Bobby Wade is the other person. It's not, you know, Mark Bradley and those guys. It's Bobby Wade. So Bobby Wade, you know, can be someone, if you need a spot starter, you know, you can go ahead and pick him up. Next is Brandon Stokley. Kyle Orton looked Stokley's way a ton. Stokley is just in the slot there, and you know Orton's firing off a lot of passes to Stokley, so he is a spot starter. Next, let's move on to people I'm watching. A lot of you guys are like, Johnny Knox, who's that? This is someone I've picked up in one of my dynasty leagues when we had our draft. Johnny Knox is a fast, big-time playmaker type player. They're starting to rotate him in. You see Bennett being rotated a little bit with Johnny Knox. I think Chicago's trying some new things to see who Cutler really gels with. He hasn't really been meshing well with a lot of wide receivers, but he's starting to get that connection with Johnny Knox. So that's someone I'd watch, and in your deep leagues, you can already go ahead and pick him up. He's a youngster. He's a rookie. Let's move on to tight ends. Now I only have 3 tight ends for you. First pickup, and you know this guy actually, Aaron Rodgers was looking at Jermichael Finley a lot of targets to Jermichael, and somebody I would definitely pick up. He looks great, especially for you guys who might have lost someone like Bo Sky for a day or two, and then if you had you know Buffalo's tight end, then you're going to need a new tight end. Jermichael Finley should definitely be out there on waivers to pick up. Spot starts, Alge Crumpler, for all you Bo Skyfe owners. Alge Crumpler will be good maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. Bo Skyfe is expected back. Bo Skyfe is a good enough tight end once he comes back to put the other guys on the bench. Jared Cook and Alge Crumpler will be sitting. Okay, the next spot start is Mercedes Lewis, another Jaguar. Got in the end zone again this weekend. You know, great spot starter again if you have a tight end down and need some help. That's it. If you have questions, you can email me. It's hattywaiverwireguru@hattywaiverwireguru.com. Check out the website. We have weekly starts. We have player analysis. We have injury analysis. We have daily Twitters. We've got everything. We've got a message board. And all this are from great ideas from you guys. You guys are sending me ideas. I want to implement them. I need to give you what you want to help you win your fantasy season. All right. Again, thanks for listening. Good luck this week. Let's get some wins. Let's get some W's. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's keep building our team. And, you know, looking forward to hearing a lot of success stories as I've been hearing from your emails. Take care.